is coming. Where's your boo?
Well, this is your own remix.
That's the temporary.
That thing is funny. Wow.
Link in description, definitely.
Link in description.
If you don't know that meme video, I don't know what you're doing.
I feel like that video has actually probably gone around. One of the most viral kind of things I've seen.
I think so.
Everybody knows that.
It's actually true. And I think I've seen it at least for the last 4 or 5 years in a row. I think
that's what I'm saying. Every single Valentine's, I hear that song.
It's just automatic. Someone just has to bring it back.
Where is even that kid? Like?
Yeah.
That's
I don't think he's a kid anymore.
He's not a kid. He's a man.
He's
probably
guy.
got kids we don't even know about.
It's actually crazy how the internet puts like. There's no formula to make things viral. It's just
that's the thing.
It happens.
Like, a lot of people feel like you think that you can just like do stuff and people you can't create it. It just happens. It just happens in its own way.
And when you try to force it won't happen.
When you try to force it, that's when sometimes even backfires. Like. Some people have tried to force it and just wasted money.
Yeah, but honestly, for real.
Way.
So guys, probably watching this very shortly after Valentine's Day is coming. Oh, sorry, Valentine's is coming. Oh man, if I had to speak, I would have played that loud as well. Yeah. But today, the caption, as you probably see on the title, is "Agree to Disagree."
Agree to disagree. The way every argument that's unresolved ends.
Yeah.
Let's agree to disagree.
But coinciding a little bit with the cultural contradiction, I can't remember the title of that episode video, but I guess this one is steered to more of course, still some contradictions expected, but to more of I'm looking for the word, consensus? Is that the right term to use? I mean,
only you can.
Only me, yeah. Equilibrium, yeah. But for the big boys that know.
Jeez, okay. Hey, so you're schooling us today.
But just like an agreement, I just use plain simple English. I'm not part of the royal family. Agree to disagree. Where do we start? In terms of disagree.
I just hate that term. I hate it. Especially when I know I'm right, actually. Don't let me be. Boy.
There's so many signs of maturity, to be honest. In some cases.
It is. Because the worst thing is when two people know they're right. Well, they think they're right. Both parties. I mean, if my older brother is watching this, he'll probably be laughing because the amount of football debates that we have, yeah, and the amount of times that we just have to just agree to disagree and just leave it there.
100%.
And we'll check the time and we've been arguing for 3 hours. It's 3 a.m. in the morning now. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. I have to get up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning for an argument that doesn't even pay us. The ballers, they're getting their money. Yeah. We're not even getting paid for it. Agree to disagree, man. I hate that thing. But yeah, no, I feel like sometimes you do have to kind of come to an understanding of both sides, because there's a lot of topics and a lot of issues that, number one, there isn't one direct right answer. Mm-hmm. So different people have different views of how a situation should be solved, or like basically on different views on the topic. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have to agree to disagree.
We were even talking earlier on about global leaders like Putin and Trump.
Yeah.
You know.
You see, I feel
like
be a controversial. We'll get into everything. But like, especially this is where I feel like agree to disagree doesn't work, because I feel like when you have so much power, sometimes some decisions need to be made by someone that still has values, someone that still has an understanding of the greater good, and someone that's not just presently just living for now. There's a lot of leaders a lot of people that are just people pleasers. They live for now. They agree to disagree, which is why I don't understand why there is a parliament since everything doesn't agree to disagree. Like, you should just end every argument with, let's agree to, or start every argument with, let's agree to disagree. If you know that's your fine, that's
always agreeing as well.
Exactly, and they always agree. There's never a disagreement. They're always agreeing. There's never a disagreement. Like, there's a lot of issues. Like, let me bring up one, because like recently I saw a video of Putin, the Russian leader, and this is on the topic of same-sex marriage. And for me, my views are, number one, if you want to do whatever you want to do, you can do it. But for me, my understanding of marriage is between a man and a woman. That's where the word comes in to it. Like, you can't call a straight person gay because they're two different things. Yeah. So marriage is between a man and a woman. So now if someone from the same sex wants to get with someone from another thing, they want to have a civil partnership or call it something else. But marriage is still a traditional term that has roots in religions, in Christianity, in Judaism, in Islam, and that's what it's always been. So now for you to come and change it, that's actually even stepping on toes of other people. And it didn't need to be done. But for him, Putin said, as long as he's in power, he's not going to change it. There was no agree to disagree with that. But in the UK, everything's agree to disagree. Well, there's never agree to disagree, agree to agree.
Agree to agree, yeah.
As long as something is brought, for me, I feel like as long as something is brought up, they'll agree. With at least an aspect of it. Further down the line, they'll completely agree with it. That's how things work here.
That's true, you know.
I feel like that's how everything works here. I feel like now, if you were to go into Parliament and say, I don't know, what's something that's wild? I don't want to be too controversial. But having relations with like animals and stuff like that. If it was brought into Parliament, that,
freedom of rights. Yeah,
freedom of rights, freedom to do that. I feel like now we're at a stage that they could possibly say, if people want to do it, they'll do it. In 5 years, they'll now say, it's fine to do it. I don't know if it's fine. I don't know.
I personally don't think it is. Obviously,
I don't know.
That just goes against the law's nature. I don't care who you are.
But there's a lot of things that I thought that goes against the laws of nature, and a lot of people think or know that it goes against the laws of nature, but it gets agreed to disagreed.
Unfortunately, well, let me not say unfortunately, because fortunately, we all have the ability to do what we want to do. We have free will, just as human beings. But I think, especially with like examples like that, if someone wants to do something that, is not normal, you're gonna agree it's not normal because, like you said, it's not something that is not normal means that it doesn't follow the trend. In fact, of things. Yeah. So they agree, whatever, in their own mind, to do that, or a group of people agree to do that. But I think there needs to be understanding where if other people say no, this isn't right. This is at least for themselves or representing whoever, saying this isn't right for us or whatnot. Then you also stay in your corner. If that makes sense. I think that's the only time probably that term kind of makes sense.
Do you know where it makes sense? I feel like it only makes sense in petty debates, or in debates that don't have
any weight to it.
Yeah, any real weight to it. Because I feel like you cannot agree to disagree serious issues. Like, I can't come and say, oh, we should go to war, we shouldn't go to war. Let's agree to disagree. What the heck is that? What the heck is that? I feel like, people can express their views and whatever, but there should be an accumulation of everyone's preference or whatever, and then an authoritative decision should be made, not an agree to disagree. Yeah. Did you agree to disagree to go to school with your parents? It's true though. No, the way you don't say it like that. So then why stuff that should take an authoritative decision? True. Why do you think? But actually, do you know what? I watched one. I'm not sure. What's these guys called on YouTube? Well, anyway, they do like they put videos of like getting people from like different backgrounds, and then they all sit in like the same room and then like have like a conversation. And this one was about parenting, and there's now something called what was it called again? Anyway, it's like free parenting or something, like free range parenting or something like that. And these are basically saying that the child should be able to do whatever they want, kind of thing. Like there's no rules. If the child wants to go to bed at whatever time they go to bed. I looked at myself. I was like, is this for real? Is this for real?
Boy, oh boy.
There's no agree to disagree with that. If I send you to bed, you go to bed. I don't care if it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
The way that this generation, the way kids are being brought up,
and that's the thing, because
that's what I'm
saying. I don't feel like a lot of these people, they don't think about the long-term implications of these things. Yeah, it's all good trying to be liberal and all of this kind of stuff, but how does it affect us in the future?
That's actually
how does your decision to allow your child to do whatever, how does that affect what your child will do in the future, and how does it affect society? Because especially even saying on the topic of like children are very impressionable, and like the skills and the stuff that they learn from young is what they take to older ages. Yeah. So if you're already bringing your child up in a system or in a way that there's no routine, like there's no nothing.
Choose their own sex.
Exactly. Or something like that. There's no routine or nothing like that. I mean, you're not actually setting the child up for life.
Yeah.
The child will pretty much end up as a bum. For real, like not doing anything, because there's never been an incentive to get up. There's never been an incentive to do this. There's never been an incentive to be motivated or anything like that. And that's why I feel like a lot of these issues, like I said, mental health is a serious thing, but I feel like mental health starts from people not, how do I even describe this? Like, I feel like a lot of mental health issues originated with people not guarding their mental health, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Like the same way that we take procedures to stay healthy, if that means eating the right food, we do that to stay healthy, to keep our weight down or whatever, to prevent us from having all these whatever high cholesterol related diseases or whatever. The same way that we took those steps to stay healthy physically, we still need to take those same steps to stay healthy mentally as well. But when people are given free range to do whatever, the same way, like if you allow the child to eat whatever,
take the mick.
You'll take the mick. He or she doesn't know that it will affect them. They're just enjoying. This is enjoyment. I'm eating all the chocolate. This is enjoyment.
That's true.
That's my view, man. That's my view.
I think there are some people who, with the right intention, they try and bring, like you say, these liberal ideas and stuff like that to try and, if I can say, bring an open mind to some situations. But if you just think about it, in life there are certain orders how things go.
Yeah.
You know? And if there's no one to make an authoritative decision on things, then we're all kind of playing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're all kind of playing ourselves, one way or another, because there's no order.
Yeah.
So where are we going? It's just like a business where, okay, fair enough, like there's equality, there's all these things, okay.
Yeah.
But there's a structure that's in place. There's no business that runs without a set structure.
Exactly.
You know? Even families, this might even be another episode to get into like how families are run and stuff like that, because
imagine a business running on anyone just doing whatever. There's no authority.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or just having 5 CEOs or I don't know. It's just there's certain things in place.
There's structures there to enhance the growth of the business or whatever. Same thing in families. There's certain structures in place to allow things to run smoothly. Once you remove those structures or you remove those, I don't know, those authoritative like decisions, the whole thing crumbles. Like there's no respect. Like everyone does whatever. It's free range. It's free roam.
Honestly, we
might as well just be living in an animal kingdom. You can do whatever. There's no rules.
There's a reason why we have one head, we have 2 hands.
Yeah.
Simple example, we have 2 feet. two legs. Things are just in place. It's like, again, it's not bad to challenge certain ideas for the greater good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just understand that some things are put in place, for there to be structure, for there to be organization, so things can move forward. When it comes to big matters like that, like you're saying, it's a really extreme one. They agree to go to war.
I feel like that's what it should have been, and that's what it originally was. Like, people misconstrue like this whole the idea of like democracy. Like, a lot of people think that democracy should mean that everyone has the right to speak and everyone's opinion is valid and all of this kind of thing. Yes, that is true. Everyone has a voice, but at the same time, there still needs to be a voice that oversees everything. Which is why no matter what, wherever a country that's democratic, they still have a leader.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just not everyone can just all be on the same playing field. Because not everyone has been equipped with the skills to handle that.
Yeah.
So how can somebody that has no idea of politics, economics, and all of these kind of things, or like world issues and all of that kind of stuff, you can't be telling me about trade. You can't teach me about trade or tell me what is right or wrong for trade. There's no agree to disagree with that because I'm more educated for that thing. That's why I feel like agree to disagree is only for like petty debates. Or like stuff that doesn't have a great kind of consequence. Yeah.
100%.
That doesn't mean that I'm like discriminating or trying to silence people's views. No, everyone still express yourself. You should still be able to express yourself.
There are cases and cases, of course.
Yeah, but I still feel like sometimes agree to disagree.
Yeah, definitive decision. And you know what's funny is that when it comes to the greater scale things that you're saying, it can't really work, because if you're saying, "Oh, let's agree to disagree," you're not really agreeing in the first place. It's better to just disagree and then let it go, or carry on disagreeing. But if you agree to disagree, it's like, what's actually happening here?
What's happening?
Are you agreeing or are you disagreeing?
What is it? It's true, Like, what are we saying? What does agree to disagree actually mean? It actually doesn't even make any sense. It actually doesn't make any sense.
When it comes to like greater big conversations and stuff, it doesn't make any sense. If you're just joking around or just having like a debate about a show, a TV show, or the experience you had in the day. You can agree to disagree. Do that.
That's fine.
It's in the greater scope of things. It's like, something actually needs to be done.
Yeah.
We don't live in a world where it's just grass and fields. It's actual society. And certain decisions impact people's lives. One way or another.
That's what I was. Oh, you don't.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
No, I was gonna say that even before we started recording, we didn't even know that this was the topic, but when we were talking about leaders and stuff like that, like, there's a lot of leaders that, like, I'll give examples, Putin, Trump, that these guys, they're mad. They're actually, some of the way that some of the stuff that they do, the way they go about certain things, is actually crazy when you look at it. But at the same time, they are still like, they still stay by what they think, and they still make definitive decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no weighing it up. Like, there's no let's do dabble. Let's see what everyone is trying to do. Let's people please.
Yeah. That's
what I'm saying. That's what, like, my worst nightmare is someone like Hillary Clinton sitting in the White House.
Getting political.
It's getting political, but I just feel like I don't feel like this is even political, because this is the stuff that everyone can see. Like, you don't even need to know about. I don't even need to go into Hillary Clinton's policies and stuff like that. But the way that she just wants to please everybody, you can't please everybody. You can't please everybody. So somebody starts trying to please everybody. Number one, that tells me that you're fake, because you don't have an identity yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have nothing to stand for. So now, if you're placed in a position where you are now governing one of the biggest powers in the world, oh my goodness, what is going to happen? You will fumble the bags. You'll fumble the bag. And you can't be doing that because the consequences could be crazy.
Yeah, wow.
The consequences could be crazy.
Taking that into wow, that is really something. Oh, I haven't looked into her policies by the way, but yeah, I do understand. Yeah, I've seen her. I think a few interviews and even her run for president and stuff like that. And yeah, you don't want someone like that to be in power of such a a massive nation. And then when you take in the scope of like society, I don't think enough is being analyzed in terms of like sorry, there's something in the back. It's just it's not agreeing with me. It's not agreeing with what I'm doing. I was gonna say is that certain ideas and opinions are not really taken into account of, like I mentioned before, the implications of what it could have. Yeah. It's just like, oh, if they like it and it doesn't really affect everyone else, then let's just do it. Let's just go with it. Let's roll with it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, LGBT. I mean, everyone has their own views. My views different. I personally don't believe in same-sex relationships and stuff like that because it's not natural from even stuff that you mentioned. But I respect. If other people want to go that way, I respect it. But then going back to the argument of like how things are in order and things are in place, I just think at least let's say in my opinion, not just with this, but generally worst case scenario, if something a law or something is passed where in society is agreed upon, let there be some not research but like some background or thought that goes into it at least. Yeah. Because I think we're getting to a time where some things are just too passively agreed upon and just let it slide,
It's true.
And before it wasn't like that, as time progressed, we're now at this stage.
Like, I feel like before, like everything that would have gone into parliament or whatever, it would have been like vigorously background check would have been run, like information would have been there for it, like these would have gone into detail for it. But like now, I just feel like everything is just passes.
Pretty much. Even like trying to think of an example in the entertainment industry of that's even a good one. Like if you're not an adult and it's past the 9 p.m. hour, you don't know, your child will be probably watching something that they shouldn't be watching, and no one could say that it's not the government can't stop that, because they can. Otherwise, what kind of society are we living in where there is no hierarchy of power to be in control of these things? So back then it didn't work, and now it just works. I think in society, to an extent, we're losing
I feel like we're losing our identity.
To an extent.
I feel like it's gonna get to a time where we don't I don't even know. Is there gonna be humans? Or are we gonna be androids? Who knows? I don't know. It just feels like everything is just going towards a time that we don't have any values. We just do whatever. Everyone wakes up and it's literally no rules for the whole.
100%.
That's it. And I don't know.
Yes.
I don't feel like that could work.
No, it can't work because, as we mentioned, for our society, like humans, we are the highest level. We are the highest life form. Yeah. And with that taking place, there's certain things that are in place to keep the structure. For those who watch Lion King, the circle of life. Then we take it down to the basic level. What's it? The antelope is the grass, the lion is the antelope, and the sun. If you watch it. If you haven't watched, I'm disappointed in you. But things are in place for there to be order. Yeah. And it's not to say every single little thing, needs to be you know, put under a magnifying glass, because as you explained, and I agree with, is that it's for the serious matters. But there needs to be a level of thought, you know, when certain things are being passed and, you know, just allowed, you know, and I think on the flip side of things as well, there are certain things that should be disagreed upon, but like they're not really taken into account. You know, I'm not sure if you heard recently about I think second generation Caribbean people going back home.
Oh yeah. I've been hearing all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that too deeply, but I think that is one thing where that being done, you know, let's say I don't know, I believe it's the government, because the government is supposed to be the highest hierarchical power in our country.
Yeah.
Has that been given thought of? You're separating families. People have been here for X amount of years, and now they're just going back. Has that just...
Do you know the person that started all that rubbish? Theresa May.
And she ain't here no more.
It's funny, it's a trend, you know? When she was, Home Secretary or whatever.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was one of the people that started all of that stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Someone that has been born in this country, they've schooled in this country, they've done all of this kind of stuff. Now, all of a sudden you want to say that this person is not a citizen of this country? Because of what? Because you initially went there to go and get people, treat them as slaves, do whatever, bring them over, and then now they're making a living for themselves. Use them. Now start making a living for themselves, create lives for themselves, and then now you want to take them back and say, no, you're not welcome, man.
No, it doesn't really.
Where is the logic in that?
There's no logic whatsoever. No logic. And I think, you know, just like in that kind of example, on the flip side, is where, okay, within the government, so this is now become a bit of a political kind of episode. They've agreed to do that, but with stuff like that, serious things like that, pertaining the people, the country, you know, no one has said anything, because people have said something, you know, but there hasn't been any supposed power to the people to also agree with that, if that makes sense, you know. So there was no mutual agreement. It's like, okay, we set this law, okay, and now, or we've made the decision, and now this has to run. If that makes sense. So I think it's like the balance. The balance between stuff. You know? Because there's also stupid decisions where, okay, maybe there should be some dialogue also for that reason, but then you just go all the way left side. Completely. So that's also one thing too.
Do you know what I feel? I feel like for a lot of these things, I feel like people, like even staying on that topic here, I feel like people from our background, or people from, what we will say, our culture, we need to get into these seats of power. And I feel like a lot of us need to now get into politics and stuff like that. Because if it's for democracy to actually work, well, democracy, what is actually democracy actually is just government. Because the thing is, like, us pedestrians on the street, we don't, aside from voting in general election, I don't say that there's real democracy. I don't see the mayor of London coming to ask me, or even like my local councillor for my borough or whatever, I don't see them just writing to me, asking me about what issues or whatever, so how's my voice being heard? So I just feel like it's the government, that's democracy, because it's only them that argue debates. We're not involved in that. And if there's no real reflection of like people from our background and our culture, we can't argue for ourselves, so we don't necessarily have a voice, if you get what I mean. So I feel like a lot of these issues a lot of these issues are stemming from us not even being in the seat to actually argue and not even speak or whatever. At least going back to agree to disagree, at least if we were able to even express ourselves or in the seat to actually say something. At least maybe we might get an agree to disagree.
At least an agree to disagree. Maybe.
But if we're not even in the room,
you
you can't do anything.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a kind of a glass ceiling kind of thing where normally that example is there's a glass ceiling you can break through, but it's one of those ones where you can see through it, but you can't go through it.
Yeah,
you can't.
This is a serious glass.
You can't break through it. And yeah, over things change. I think we can do our best. Shouldn't just sit around not doing anything.
Yeah.
We can definitely do our best. But just wait and see. I just hope that things do actually improve.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of mad things happened in the last decade. A lot of big changes. Not just the UK that we're in, but globally. So I just hope, hope and pray that in this decade, at least things will happen where in society, from still serious matters, but from our society to down here, if I can say, and then on a global scale with countries being involved and so on and so forth, that things are given more thought, whether that is, okay, someone's given more thought and, but a definitive decision is made, but also a definitive decision is made after giving thought to it and maybe talking to the people or the parties involved that are implicated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that doesn't make sense. I don't know how you can make it a decision where the people that it involves are they're not there, or you haven't heard their viewpoint or whatever. It doesn't really make any sense.
Carelessness. Complete utter carelessness.
Hey, 2020.
Boy, just hope for a change. Anyway, I think we'll just leave as that. Wow. Very political episode.